So this is the discussion we just had on going towards a shared approach to data quality management. Jim had some nice things to share about the way they do data quality management, which is, I think, reasonably far advanced. It is about tying data initially to the methodology that's used to collect that data, and that implies also some mechanism for managing methodologies in their own right. But we talked a bit through it, when we got to the actions at the end. That was probably one of the key things. In order to get good data quality management throughout the system, a national register of methodologies would be a useful thing to have. That would allow us to reference data sets against that and say how they were collected. Jim also talked about having a quality rating for the data, which is tied to a peer-reviewed rating for the methodology itself, and also arriving from other constraints that might be on the way the data is collected. For example, whether it's collected in a validating data entry system or whether it's just phoned in or something like that. Who's doing the collecting, whether they're an experienced scientist or it's a member of the public. So that gives you some sort of numerical figure that you can associate with data. Again, that would be a useful set of information to be able to share, so we could move towards a common way of validating or measuring the quality of the data that we have, even if it's a sort of national scale from 1 to 10. And so we have the methodology, we have the rating. I think I have to stop because I've got the third thing. Okay, so the workflow. Data quality management means that some people are going into data and changing it. So it would be good to have a common understanding of how, when you're looking at a piece of data, what sort of workflow it belongs to, whether it's version control, whether it's raw, whether what methods are that are being used to maintain that data quality. And again, that's something that would be useful to have a way of expressing and sharing, so that we can say, yeah, we use this really high quality workflow, so the data is good enough to stand up in court, and you can say, I know where this number came from. I guess we're heading towards the same thing about where that piece of land that comes on your plate in the UK, and you can track it back to the farm that grew it and the grass it was eating. Maybe we'll see the same point where we can track any piece of data back to the person who collected it and what they were doing when they collected it. So the actions are to start work, sharing the sort of technical schemas that we have already, working out what to do with them, and then trying to get more or have other powers that be to move towards a way of sharing that data